tells me that she has a favorite subject for talking about. And so today on A&P Talk About, and hi, I'm Patrick, and this is
Abigail.
Yeah, we're going to talk about villains,
E.
right? Yeah, see the E thing again. Yeah, she likes her villains. So, which is kind of amazing because don't most people like heroes?
I think it's half and half.
Oh, or are you considering villains heroes?
No, I don't consider them heroes.
No?
Unless they're a well-intentioned extremist, in which case they're trying to do something good, but they go to really mean measures in order to do something that's good.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. Sort of like
Yeah.
bosses at work. Sometimes it's like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today, I was interested in talking about villains, of course, and so is she. We're going to start with, who is your favorite villain?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
There's way too many good ones out there. I can't choose just one above them all.
Oh, you mean there's like a market for villains? Sweet! So any of you that are unemployed out there, there's probably a job for you as a villain somewhere. So, no
Nope.
particular
Nope.
villain?
Nope.
Well, the other day we were looking at the top 100 villains of all time,
Yeah.
which was totally disputable. I wasn't very happy with it. They had some people on there I thought, not going to happen. Like, for instance, they had Bowser at, what was he at?
Number 2.
Number 2? But Darth Vader wasn't number 1. And I was like, hello? He wasn't, was he?
No.
No. Like, Darth Vader is the one of all times, don't you think?
Well, in my opinion, it's GLaDOS.
Yeah.
And Bowser is definitely up there. He's also one of my favorite villains, and it kind of makes sense because he is a classic.
Yeah, he always kicks Mario's butt. And how could you ask for anything more? I mean, Bowser, he's like the number 1 guy. Look, I'm talking like Darth Vader, like with power. It's like, it's like, but I don't have the helmet on, and I don't have quite,
The weird breathing sounds?
Yeah. I could do it. No helmet. So, I mean, I like Darth Vader. Personally, I think he kicks butt. When in the first movie, when he crushes that guy's neck right at the beginning and says he wants the plans or nothing else, that is awesome, man. I think that's great. Bowser, I've got to admit, he's kind of the conqueror of them all. However, there's lots of villains. What's one of your favorite villains?
I have tons of favorite villains.
Okay. So you're saying you're tongue-tied over your villains? That's a hint of who one of her favorites is.
Some of you may not get it unless you watched, should I say the movie's name or not?
Sure, go ahead.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, it's one of her favorites because you know what? She doesn't care about the murder and the mayhem half as much as she cares about the jokes. She thinks they're hilarious. Freddy's the funniest thing on this sliced bread to her. Like he does that one part. What is that part again?
Are you talking about the deaf kid part?
Well, the kid, is on the floor, and he's got tongues holding his arms and his legs down. And
he said, "Oh, what's wrong, little Johnny? You little tongue-tied?"
Yeah. And it's not like we go around watching all these movies, but occasionally we've seen a couple here and there, and that one was pretty funny. I like it. But, some others were on that list that I thought were kind of interesting, like, what about Jaws? You consider Jaws a villain?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, kind of a villain, because he does go against the main heroes, but he's just doing what comes naturally. He just eats.
So you don't think it's intentional?
Not really.
So, I mean, I'm asking you guys as much as I'm asking Abby, what do you think would constitute a real villain? Because there were some people on those lists that I thought, I don't know. Like there's a nurse in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, she's kind of evil, but that evil? Be a villain? Like, I always look at a villain as intent to cause mayhem or something like that.
Yeah.
But do you think Jaws is doing intent to cause mayhem?
No, she or he is just doing what comes naturally.
Yeah.
Even though naturally, in real life, sharks don't actually eat people. They just eat the limbs or something like that.
Oh.
They can kill people, but they don't actually eat them.
Oh. They're like a natural-born killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what predators are, including us.
Yeah. So is the predator a villain?
It depends on what kind of movie you're seeing or whether or not you're the main victim in real life or something like that.
Well, I meant the predator, like Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, well, in Aliens versus Predator, they're not really the villains. They're only the villains for like the first half. But But in their own villains, in their own movies, they are kind of the villain.
Oh, so I know I'm trying to prod her out of this, but I know. What is your favorite villain of all times?
I have no idea.
She does know.
What?
Melissa.
Actually, to tell you the truth,
yeah.
Scar's my favorite Disney villain of all
I
time.
don't know that one. What was that?
Lion King.
Oh, Scar?
Yeah,
Oh,
Scar.
Scar. Sorry, I didn't hear it right. Yes. About Scar? Who's got a scar? That's from the Lion King too. I mean, 1, not 2. And not 2.5 either.
Actually, it's 1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
Not 2.5? Oh, they haven't made that one yet.
Yeah.
I was only half right. I only got half the right answer.
Okay, dude.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. So, cut? No, stop. Whatever. So, Scar, eh?
Yeah, he's my
Cool.
favorite Disney villain of all time.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Well, Lion King is such a classic. It's actually my favorite movie of all time.
Ah.
So Scar kind of sticks with me.
I thought you liked Melissa.
I do. Maleficent.
No, whatever.
She does. I do. Trust me, I do. She's awesome. But so I'm not sure if she's either second favorite or shares the place with Scar at first.
Oh. Maybe Melissa has a scar. Well, it's hard to tell.
And to tell you the truth, I actually kind of see the two as a couple.
What?
I
That's
know.
sick!
I know it's weird and everything like that, but their personalities clash so nicely because they're both villains.
Now, I always thought of villains, like, personally, I mean, I kind of look at them as, like, the old ones. Like, when you watch, like, old Dracula in black and white, right? Like, I'm going to show a clip here. That Dracula is like, that's evil. That's a, or how about a guy, you know, the bad guy with the curly mustache or whatever. That is, putting a woman on a train track thing, right?
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah, classic villains, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. So I don't really count like classic villains like that. I get that, but so Jaws or like I think Jason and Freddy and all those are villains. But
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of look at them more as violent. I always look at villains myself. Is like the guy that puts the girl on the train track and the hero has to come and save them. Now, I don't think the girl gets her, you know, run over and her head rolls off the tracks. Yeah. That's nowadays. But in the past, the hero came and saved from the villain. The villain didn't actually kill people. He put people in peril. And yeah. Like for instance, if you looked at a Dr. Evil, you know, the thing there or whatever.
Austin Powers?
Yeah. Now he would be putting people in peril. Or, for instance, this did make that list, was Goldfinger from James Bond. I mean, any guy that would tie a guy down and try to run a laser to zap him in the crotch or whatever, and walk away and leave it in, you know, peril with time running down and stuff like that, that's a villain, to me. But, so I think Goldfinger is like a villain. But, because I mean, some of the people didn't die. He put them in peril. Yeah. So sometimes I feel that way. But now I wanted to mention to you before we left, because I didn't want to go too long today, because I probably burnt you guys out from the last time. But villains, sometimes we can be our own worst villain too. Yeah. Right? I mean, because we put ourselves in peril, don't we? I mean, how often do we like lie or something like that? In some ways, I'm my own worst villain, right? Like, I put myself in peril. We all are. Yeah. So, can you name a time when you put yourself in peril?
Well, I try to be careful not to do that, so I can't really name a moment.
No? Well, I could give her one or something. Like, you know, if you go on a roller coaster, right, and somebody's died on it before, and personally, you're putting yourself in peril. Yeah. But I love roller coasters. Now, there's this one down in Brazil that's supposed to be really tall, and you go to 69 or 67, I don't know, miles an hour down the thing. That's putting yourself in peril, but that's also fun peril. So, yeah.
You're cheating death if you actually manage to succeed.
Yes. So a villain in some ways could be putting somebody in a position to cheat death, or they're trying to make sure they can't cheat death. Maybe something like that.
It's kind of like Jigsaw does.
I never seen those. Like, I can't do that.
You kind of put those people in the positions you put them in to make them feel like they're alive. I know it's really weird and ironic, but he does that to make them appreciate life more.
Yeah, until they die, then it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really twisted, but that's actually what he does.
That's why his name's Jigsaw. It's all, twisted thing. But, so anyways, we just thought we'd have a little gap this morning on villains. I know that was our favorite and all that stuff, but if, we could talk about it. One more just before we go, if we can. Okay, so before we go, I wanted to give like an example rant of kind of like a really good villain or something like that. And one of the best ones, I think. I know I said before that in comic book heroes that comic book movies that nobody did good acting, but I'm not totally truthful on that. There is some good acting, like Jack Nicholson as the Joker, I thought was excellent, or the Catwoman by Michelle Pfeiffer, I thought was just a wonderful job. But what I wanted to mention was the best of all time probably is
Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I knew she was going to say that. It just had to be. And so tell me why.
Well, his makeup is good. The way he acts is good. His laugh is great.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually lose his temper that too much. Yeah. His berserk button, which means is pretty much the one thing that makes him really angry, is when things don't really go according to plan. When someone calls him a freak or crazy.
Yeah, and he always says according to the plan. Yeah, I get it.
Even though he claims he's a guy without a plan.
That's true. But I just wanted to point out, when he goes up and tells those different stories about, how he got his mouth cut. Yeah, and it's almost like he's going to do it to them. Like, I call that...
why so serious?
Yeah, why so serious? He was acting serious. They were taking him serious. When that guy lost a pencil, and when he did the little pencil banging head trick. Yeah, I know.
He must have practiced, which makes it even more gruesome.
Yeah, so that's a villain. So I thought he did a great job, and it's too bad that he died. But we've had some great villains over time, and I'm sure there'll be some more at times. So, anyways, it'd be neat if you guys emailed us or talked to us about what your greatest villains were. That'd be kind of cool.
Either a video response or a comment or something like that.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. It's great. Like we love to talk about all kinds of things, and so until next time. This is Patrick and
Abigail.
And we're saying peace.
Peace off.